Controversial Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act failed in a House 228 to 193 vote this afternoon, and 19 Republicans have voted against it. Trump urged House Republicans to kill the FISA bill in a Truth Social post this morning. Quote, "Kill FISA. It was illegally used against me and many others. They spied on my campaign." The controversial part is that surveillance is allowed without a warrant, even if that person is an American. Republican Texas Congressman Chip Roy argued this on the House floor.
It cannot be overstated the extent to which, at our founding and throughout our history, it has been critical to place that constitutional barrier between the authority of government being used in the name of defense and in the name of security in a way that tramples on the rights and the security of the American people.
House Republicans are looking to amend the bill to ban warrantless searches of U.S. citizens before a final vote. Former White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, in leaked audio, slammed the President Joe Biden over his lack of focus on kitchen table issues. According to a story in Politico, Klain criticized Biden's focus on infrastructure rather than the cost of, quote, eggs and milk. Klain reportedly grew heated on the audio, discussing Biden attending ribbon cuttings at bridges and not focus on the expensive price of basic food. Meanwhile, a focus group of undecided voters discussed Biden's re-election and the economy.
The point is Biden needs to hear the people, because when he's talking about the economy doing stellar, he's talking about the stock market. He's not looking at homelessness or joblessness. He's not, at Eugie's point, thinking about how much it costs to go to the grocery store. And he's gaslighting literally everyone in the process.
The group included voters from Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. It was conducted on April 8th. Meantime, the presumptive Republican nominee made a stop at a Chick-fil-A restaurant in Georgia.
Everybody, thank you. So you're getting lots of milkshakes. Look at that handsome guy. Wish I had hair like that. Right here? He's on the menu. Oh, yeah, me. Hi, fellas. Hi.
The fast food chain just reported it had $21 billion in record sales for 2023. Mike?
Fewer military experts are warning the U.S. could lose the space race to China. According to a study released Monday, the Space Force's Air Force Research Laboratory and Defense Innovation Unit says China is rapidly expanding its capabilities for both exploration and warfighting in space. The report warns that China appears to be well on its way to becoming the dominant force in space by the year 2045, unless the U.S. takes proactive measures. The study says, quote, "We must not become China to beat China. Rather, we simply need to be more American to remain American." Questions for prospective jurors in Donald Trump's alleged hush money trial were released Monday by a New York court. According to the Daily Caller, the questionnaire covers affiliations with groups like QAnon, Antifa, or if they watch specific conservative news outlets. Former President Trump faces 34 state felony counts related to the alleged falsification of business records linked to a payment made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels in 2016. Trump's legal team attempted to change the trial location and lift a gag order, but that was dismissed by an appeals court. Greg.
A majority of Americans believe Democrats are using the illegal immigration to build a permanent majority. Those are among the findings of a new Rasmussen poll. Breitbart is reporting that when asked if the Biden administration is encouraging illegal immigration in hopes that they will become voters and create a permanent majority for Democrats, 57% said yes. Just 37% disagreed. When asked how important it is to prevent illegal immigrants from voting in U.S. elections, 78% said it's important. The survey of 1,085 likely voters was conducted on April 3rd and 4th. So let's talk with constitutional attorney, Victory News contributor Chris Anhall. Welcome to Victory News.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, House Oversight Chair James Comer is promoting a bill called H.R. 7109. It's the Equal Representation Act to Congress. Its goal is to keep illegal immigrants from voting and being counted in the census.
There are over 22 million non-citizens residing in the United States and the District of Columbia. These are foreign nationals who have not naturalized and cannot vote in federal elections. Non-citizens comprise nearly 7% of the total population of the United States. 7%.
All right, Chris, and I think you probably have an answer for this. As long as they don't vote, what's the harm in counting illegal immigrants in our census?
Well, let's be very clear. Illegal aliens are not allowed to vote in the federal elections. That has been established even since the Articles of Confederation. And there's a whole reason behind that. But if they're not going to vote, then they can't be on the census. Because the census determines how many people are how many representatives are assigned to a state in a district. The census determines how many electoral college votes a state gets. The census also can determine how much federal funding a state gets and even the size of the government. That means that the state that controls the most illegal aliens will control America through the House, through the presidency, and through the size.
Okay, that would be California, that would be New York, and a lot of the blue states. Right.
And every illegal alien that some of the governors have been shipping to these states is actually increasing the political power of those states if they're not allowed to vote and they are still remaining on the census.
Wow. Wow. I don't know how else to say. I have to process what you just shared with us. Now, Joe Biden was asked why he doesn't just secure the border by executive order and stop the chaos, drugs, crime, taxpayer burden taking place across the country. Here's his answer.
There's no guarantee that I have that power all by myself without legislation. And someone suggested I should just go ahead and try it. And if I get shut down by the court, I get shut down by the court.
Chris Hayden, his concern with the courts didn't stop him when he unilaterally canceled student loan debt. What's the real issue then?
Well, I think the real issue is, why are we still waiting for Biden to do something? People can complain that Biden is wasting time and he's shuffling papers instead of protecting the border. I'm going to boldly say right now that our governors are doing that and worse, because the constitutional fact is, and this is an opportunistic claim of Biden, as we see, the president does not have a constitutional authority to do this. This is left in the House and with the governors of the states. So where the president doesn't have unilateral authority to do this, by the Constitution, both U.S. and state constitutions, our governors have this power and this duty.